Good morning. Good Wednesday morning to you. June 14th. Moving right along here. Beautiful day here in Tennessee. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Wednesday. Got some good stuff for you today. Day 45, turning my book into a journey. Focusing on this week the effect of the design process part of working on achievement. So when we're working on achievement, a lot of times, yesterday I talked about, we don't factor in the design part of the process. So when we're starting off initially and we don't have a lot of the things that we need to progress down the road, a lot of times we get stuck, we make excuses, and it's just tough to get momentum going. But when we get in that state, I get in the design part. It's almost like creating a blueprint for a house. You start laying out exactly what it's going to take, and during this process, I start working on the things that I can work on right now. Not just busy work, but things that are going to progress the project down the road. So I want to give you an example this morning because I believe this is important, that understanding that this part of the process can bring resources, can bring ability up to the level, identify what you need to get your ability where it needs to be to get that progress and create the greatest effect and keep evolving the level that you can go to. So I want to give you a good example. Several years ago, we were working on a big house project, and I knew up front during the design part of the process that I didn't have the resources I needed. I didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle, not even close, especially on the financial end of things. But that didn't stop us. I was like, we'll work the process, we'll design it, lay it out. As we go along, things are going to happen, things are going to unfold. And I've done this many times before in different areas of my life. I just got to show up, keep working on. Here's the big focus point this morning. Put work that's directed towards progress. Not just busy work, not just show up and do work today, but show up and do something that's going to progress. Even if it's something small, progress the project down the road. And as I do that, things that we don't have figured out will start to figure themselves out in a way. I don't know exactly how to explain that, but a lot of times people get worried and stressed on how's this going to unfold. I need it to unfold this way. We live in a world where we don't get to pick and choose how things unfold. I've been living for 50 years. I've tried it over and over again to get things to unfold exactly the way I would like them to unfold, and I still can't get it to do that. I don't see anybody else working in that manner. So sometimes we just got to accept things are going to unfold probably in a way that we don't exactly design it to. Our job is to create a vision, put the design process into work, show up, do the work. And as we do the work, things will show up. But anyways, I knew up front on this house project, we didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle at the beginning, especially on the financial end. So as we're getting down the road and we're getting within like 2 weeks of the project being finished, my wife's asking the question, we don't have the resources to finish this. And I'm like, I know. She goes, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to show up and do the work that I can do today. I said, we can make progress on the house today. And I said, I'm going to show up and do that. And it was really interesting, like 2 weeks, right under 2 weeks of the project being finished, I get a call from the guy at the bank, and he goes, got some good news and some really good news. And two of the things that were limiting us from having the resources to finish the project, he goes, first piece of good news, we got the numbers wrong on when we initially did your assessment for your funding for the house project. And I was like, what do you mean you got the numbers wrong? He goes, we actually put some of the items in twice when we was adding up, what you're qualified for. He said, so some of the expenses you told us you had, we doubled those. And so we reconfigured that, and it was crazy. It was within, I think, it ended up being $1,000 over what we actually needed to finish the project. He goes, yeah, this is what you really qualify. And I'm like, whew. because that's exactly what we needed, plus just a little bit more. So, and then the other part of that was, another limitation we had on our loan. I think it had to do with some things as far as the PMI insurance and stuff. But it ended up being a double bonus at the very end, and I didn't figure those things out. And actually, if you look at it, those things were figured. I mean, that was at the very beginning. They made that mistake, so that was there all along. We didn't know it. We stressed about how's this going to be finished a lot of times, just because it's human nature to try to figure things out. But I just stayed the course on, man, I'm going to show up, do the work that's going to progress this project down the road. And as we go along, by doing that, opportunities are going to be created. Things are going to come into place. And I've been told that all my life, and I've done this on several projects. It's still hard to do even to this day because, man, we, as human beings, we want certainty. We would like to have it figured out before, have some certainty it's going to take place, it's going to be completed. But the one thing I will say, every project, everything I've done in my life up to this point in that nature, in that realm of, maybe not having everything that's needed to finish the project up front, as I've worked that project, stuck with that project, not one project has not come to fruition. So I think it's important for people to get and to hear from other people that, hey, this is possible, even though it may not look possible right now. If I keep working the progress, and here's the key point I don't want you to miss this morning. This is the effect we need. Your work has to be directed towards progress, moving the project down the road. If you're just showing up and doing busy work every day, there's no guarantee you'll ever get finished. It's got to be directed towards progress. So, man, I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Sorry to go a little long this morning. Passionate stuff. These projects and stuff like this have made a tremendous impact in my life. So you get me going on it, and I will talk for a little while on it. So, man, you guys have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you guys back here in the morning.